Our first guest speaker this morning has served as the presiding judge of Tarrant County Criminal Court 9 since 1991. During that time, Brent Carr has distinguished himself as a jurist who thinks outside the normal judicial box. He's not just about punishment. He's about using the judicial system creatively to help people turn their lives around. The 3 specialty court programs that Judge Carr oversees, Mental Health Diversion, Veterans Diversion, and RISE, a project focused on high-risk female offenders, are assisting people by diverting them from the traditional criminal justice process and providing court-supervised treatment and counseling. The number of offenders who enroll in college, gain employment, and live stable and drug-free lives is impressive. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Judge Brent Carr.
All right, go. All right, I got it right there. Well, I checked the 8th Amendment, and I was very disappointed to see that limiting a lawyer to 10 minutes of speaking is not cruel and unusual punishment. And secondly, I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize my daughter, Kathleen Ray, who's here. She's one of your assistant district attorneys in the civil section, and she's back there praying to herself, "Dad, don't embarrass the family." So let's go ahead and get started, because I do have a few things I want to tell you. I want to set the table. In the general population, 6% of America has major mental illness. In the homeless population, 1 in 4 have major mental illness. Substance abuse has now passed, substance abuse overdose has now passed HIV as the leading cause of death amongst homelessness. We have about a 40% dependency rate amongst the homeless on substances and alcohol. And every night somewhere in America, almost 750,000 people lay their head down, and they can probably look up and see stars. And as the mayor alluded to earlier, it's a tough group. They all present a lot of different issues, and we can't just lump them all in the same bag and expect every approach that works well for one group is going to work well for all. I'm a veteran. I'm a proud veteran. Where's the other veterans in the room? I know we got more. All right, thank you for your service. It pains my heart to see a lot of young people who had no criminal record, had no significant issues before they went into the military, and now they've come home, and almost 10% of homeless people right now are veterans. It's 8.6% or so. According to our release statistics, about 70% of people who enter the criminal justice system are rearrested within 5 years for something. But I want to make a few brief comments about my 3 programs, my other 3 children. They have all involved homeless issues, and I am so fortunate that I get to come to work every day and work with a great group of people who are professionally committed to intervene and stabilize and give success in people who had long ago given up. In 2003, the Mental Health Association invited me to a free lunch, and you can tell I don't miss many. Free breakfast. Hey, that's why I'm the speaker. I got free breakfast. I went to their meeting. It's this concept of gathering resources that apply to a certain group and matching them with the people who need the resources, so we don't have to chase each individual down and rebuild the process every time we encounter someone with an issue. And it just made incredible sense. We've graduated almost 500 people. Remember, I said almost 70% recidivism rate, 16% recidivism rate over 14 years. And I think that's a heck of a lick, but just when you thought it couldn't get any better. Now, veterans, they come to you having met certain qualifications in their past. We started this program in 2010. We're closing in on 200 graduates. These were people who had little to no criminal history, because the military, used to, people would go into the service to escape consequences. That's no longer really an available option. The military is very selective about who they take, and it may surprise you to know that less than 5% of today's young people meet the physical health qualifications to enter the military. So what does that tell us? That's not a good number. But we started our program in 2010, and basically we're bringing these veterans in, and they're good at following rules and instruction. They get their life back together, they're back in school, and they're accomplishing things. 6% recidivism rate over 7 years. And when you get past about 5 years, your numbers become pretty solid. They may fluctuate up or down a point, but you're pretty much going to expect that as a long-term result. For years, I've been seeing these women, pretty much all homeless, or living on the street or couch surfing, parade in front of me in court, and there should be programs for these issues: domestic violence, DWI, drugs. But I can promise you that the easiest case on the jail run, when we bring down from jail everybody who didn't have 2 pennies to rub together to get out of jail, were women charged with prostitution. You want 10 days, 20 days, 50 days, whatever, credit for time served in a lot of cases. And on that note, and it's not the sheriff who arrests everybody, and the police should arrest the people who they arrest, but every night we spend about, if you fill your wallet buzzing at 12:01 every morning, there went about another $210,000 on housing people in the Tarrant County Jail, which translates to like 17 or something, somewhere between $15 and $17 million a year if you extrapolate that to the state. And some people need to be in jail. I'm all for jail. I'm all for prison. Some people absolutely are in the right place when that's where they end up. But we have I grew up in an agricultural area in Central Florida. We have a lot of low-hanging fruit. There's a lot of opportunity out there if we can just hook them up with resources. So I'm not going to say that I didn't play a significant role in the creation of the programs that I work with, but I rely on some incredible people. Once you get that car built and you start the engine, it keeps running. And a lot of these resources I've seen this morning in this room, we work together as a team, as a community, and I can tell you great things are being done here in your city, here in your county, and you can look forward to many more great things. Oops, my light went off. I better check it out. How am I doing? No, I got 4 minutes. We're doing some great things in the county. So we develop these programs, and these women are not a threat. They're all drug addicted. They all have sexual trauma in their past, raped by their biological father. One of them was raped by her stepfather and her stepbrother, and the mother took their side, have borne their biological family members' children. It's no wonder they run off, and they've got to survive somehow. Most of them didn't finish high school, so they're really not. They don't really have a lot of credentials to bring to the table. And housing, before we can really have an intervention, we have to stabilize this person, and putting someone in a place where we can get to them, we can monitor them, we can make sure they're making use of their resources and giving them support to stay on task. Because just like you discussed the last time you were on vacation, which is what I talk about, well, they talk about the last time they were in jail or where they're going to get their next fix. So it's a totally different world, and we have to show them and educate them that there are other options out there that they can take advantage of. So we created a set of resources. These women today, they're working. They're going to Tarrant County College. I've got many of these women who have been clean for over 3 years. We're having a graduation on March the 1st at a place out on East Lancaster that the net runs. If you want to come, let me know. I'm telling you, your heart will be moved. Another place that people can always participate. So I want to leave you with this. There's a lot of souls out there that can be healed. And I participated in the homeless count the other night. I've done it for 2 years now, and that's another thing I'd recommend you do. It's an adventure. You get with a little team. I mean, the JPS team was out there the other night. They were rah-rahing all around the room in the assembly area. And it's an adventure. I mean, you got an armed police officer with you, so there's no danger, and you do an interview. And we found 2 homeless encampments and had a really good interaction. I could smell the alcohol on one of the guy's breaths. He had been heavily drinking. He doesn't want to live in a shelter because he has to follow the rules. So we're not going to get to homelessness until we deal with his substance abuse. But my whole point here, there's a lot of opportunity. So I want to leave you with 3 letters. CPS. Now, I know when you hear CPS, a lot of people in this room are thinking Child Protective Services. Well, now when you hear CPS, and that is a worthy cause, I don't want to minimize the work that has to be done and that other sore on our society, but you can also think about it this way. I'm going to give you the C as continue. Continue this mission. Show up at these events. Let people out there know that you support ending homelessness. There are many great things that we can all do. The P I'm going to say stands for participate. Again, come here. Come to DRC's morning breakfast event if you're a business person and have something to contribute there. There are many ways. Be on the homeless night count. There are 1,000,001 ways you can participate, and everybody has their own talents, and we all don't do it the same way. And finally, support. Continue this mission, participate in this mission, and support this mission. There are many ways we can each support this mission. I love working with these people. It has been an inspiration in my life. And when I turn off the light switch for the last time, amongst the humble accomplishments, okay, I'll say great accomplishments. I'm very proud of the work that I do here. And I've tried over 1,000 jury trials. I know how to do it. But I don't get to see people succeed in the criminal justice system. I send them to jail and prison. People I put on probation, I don't get to see them. I only see them again if they violate their probation. But when I work with these people, I have a relationship with them. Now, we stay at arm's length because I have a professional job to do. But I see them reunite with their family. I see CPS drop a termination case and work with a mother now to be reunited with her children. I see families show up at graduations that wouldn't touch this former relative with a 10-foot pole, and a big part of this was giving these ladies, giving these mentally ill people, giving these veterans a place to launch. And that's where homes start, and this is a worthy cause. Thank you.